Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope everybody is doing beautifully. So today I wanted to do the pros and cons of Ancestry and 23andMe. That was a suggestion on under one of my videos. Actually, the recent video I did, one of my good friends suggested it. Her name is Victoria. You guys should definitely talk to her, and just interact with her and talk with her. She's a really cool person. Some of you guys interacted with her under the recent video, not the recent video, but the video about the Southern Bantu people. Some of you guys commented under her comments and kind of, shared some love with her and everything. So that's good. That's real good. She sent me the idea to do this, and this has been. There are many people who have done these videos. Many people have done pros and cons videos of these two companies because Ancestry and 23andMe are the biggest DNA companies out there. They're the most heard of out of all DNA companies and the most given commercials and everything on that. You see some on MyHeritage, but you don't see a lot of it. And MyHeritage really needs to fix its database because it's really not as accurate as 23andMe and Ancestry. However, one good thing about many people doing these videos is you get many different perspectives and thoughts and mindsets on the pros and cons of these tests. So you hear from different people on how they feel on what's a pro and what's a con of taking one of these tests or taking both. So a lot of people take both of them to compare them because there are things that 23andMe has that Ancestry doesn't, and things that Ancestry has that 23andMe doesn't. So there is a benefit to doing both companies, and there are things that that the companies have that really is essential to you continuing your search for your family or your search for your family or family history and DNA background. So I'm going to start off with 23andMe because personally I feel like 23andMe is actually my favorite company in terms of like DNA breakdown and DNA accumulation and stuff like that. I think that 23andMe is very good with breaking down your DNA into percentages. Even before they updated the results and before they got more accurate, they were still pretty accurate with the results. They were still at least pretty specific. And Ancestry was not. So when we go here, you guys have seen this so many times, but I'm still going to go over it again to compare and contrast. So we have just a breakdown of my African, and then we have certain things, with the African, they got Nigerian, then they've got, certain places here, certain places here, certain places here, and all around. By European, they have, British and Irish. They have specifically in Ireland because that's where a majority of my DNA comes from, not really English. We don't really have English in the family. That's not there. Really, we were mainly Irish, and that's true. Then they get even more specific when they talk about the places in Ireland that I come from or my family descends from, and that's of these two places right here. And then they go into Spanish and Portuguese, and they get really specific with that. And then Scandinavian. I keep wanting to say Sardinian, but Scandinavian, which is very small, but it still makes up the 19.1%. And then you just got broadly, which but even before then, it was pretty specific with it. It gave you, like, what I really love is, like, other than, like, the specificity of, like, the breakdown of the places, like the Spanish and Portuguese or whatever, before that, before they got better with the East Asian and Native American and the African, they still gave you like 1.6 or 19.8 or something. You know, it didn't just say 19%. It said or 1% or whatever. It gave you like literally, it gave you some change with it. It gave you some sense. So it gave you, you know, that extra little that you know, you're not just 1%, you're 1.6, which could pretty much be seen as 2%, or you're not 5%, you're 5.7. I like that. I like that because it just it really is, in a way, is a more deep and in depth way of saying what your range is. So that DNA part is beautiful. I also liked kind of how how 23andMe had the questions at the, you know, where you can answer questions about what you know about your health, what you know about this and that, so that they can help better tell you certain things about your DNA background. Ancestry just incorporated that into its DNA test, and I haven't done it because I do it here. And 23andMe also, before Ancestry started doing this, 23andMe allowed you to compare results to your relatives. Like, you could see what you got and what they had. Even though I heard that it's not good to compare results, it was still nice to be able to at least see that. Now Ancestry has that, but 23andMe had it first. That's why I'm kind of doing it for 23andMe. So I really liked that. So yeah. And then everything else pretty much is just, you know, I kind of do like how it gives you your maternal and paternal haplogroups as well. I like how it tells you about your Neanderthal variants. I like how 23andMe also gives you the timeline of when your ancestors had, when you had a certain ancestor that was Native American, or a certain ancestor that was Filipino, or a certain ancestor that was, I don't know, Pacific Islander or Middle Eastern or something like that, of that nature. I do like how it gives you that sort of timeline. So 23andMe has a lot of things that are good, along with its health reports that it gives you. 23andMe has a lot of pros. What I don't like about 23andMe is you really can't do a family tree. Like, you can do a family tree, but you can't really look up information on your family. Like, the only thing you can do on 23andMe is just put in family members into a tree. And I may be wrong. Maybe somebody's found something different. But from what I've looked at and for what I've seen, 23andMe doesn't have an actual research database where you can research family pictures, family documents, stuff like that. You can't do that. You can only just put people into a family tree. And I don't really like that, and I wish that maybe that's something that they can incorporate. Now, 23andMe, however, has, you know, documents where... it has where you can look up documents. You can, you know, find so much on your family. You can make a beautiful family tree like this one. You could, you know, look up so much information. And so you're not just making a family tree. You are making, you are adding people to your tree, but you're adding documents, you're adding pictures, you're adding information to them. So that's one thing I love about Ancestry. Another thing I like about Ancestry is I do like how Ancestry sort of gives a history. Sorry, my computer may act stupid. Hopefully it doesn't. It's going to. Perfect timing. But Ancestry gives you the migrations, I guess. I like that. I like the information it gives you on the migrations. I like the information it kind of gives you on each country. 23andMe does that as well, but I also like how Ancestry does it, and it kind of gives you some insight on the people and stuff like that, and I like that. So that's a pro on both, but I also really like that on Ancestry. I like how from both companies, this is more of a in-between, but I like how both companies, of course, get you to DNA relatives. I like that. So yeah, 23 is more of my favorite company, but I like Ancestry as well because Ancestry is really good. Not just is really good. Of course, yeah, you can take a test, but it's really good with like just researching your family. I mean, it just research in general, period. If I wasn't able to do as much research on my family, crap, I keep forgetting that I can't go there. If I didn't do as much research on my family, then I, crap. If I didn't do so much research on my family, then I wouldn't have had the luxury of even knowing all this information that I have. So, yeah. But that is it, you guys. That is it. Let me head on out. I'm trying not to show these people on my timeline because that's private information. Anyways, see you guys later. Bye.